Kill the guy with the football. The only game I ever understood was the only one the school tried to stop. It was a game we played at recess in 5th grade. Often at recess there would be a game of kickball. Kickball was baseball, but with a ball kicked around the diamond. No bat was needed. It was very innocent. 5th grade was a weird year at Broadway. Our birth year, 1960, had been the most populous birth year in history. The schools were overcrowded. The school year of 1970 through 71 was more crowded than the year before and more crowded than the year after. Our class size was increased by more than a third when kids from another elementary school were added. According to Douglas Coupland's novel Generation X, 1960 was the last year of the baby boom. For most of my elementary school education, we'd behaved like Generation X children. My classmates were adherents to the rules of the game. They would argue in the middle of a kickball play over who was out of bounds and why. Sometimes they got into fights over it. It was always over a rule. But Kill the Guy with the Football had only one rule: Darwinism. This was what the baby boomers were all about. For one brief shining moment, it was Lord of the Flies at Broadway School. We had the conch. I don't know what it was that suddenly caused an absence of supervision. Did the teacher who had to wander around the field at recess have the flu? Were they watching us from the teacher's lounge window? Was it one of the many experiments the faculty performed on us? For something like 5 days in a row, no adult was seen at recess. Maybe the kids from the other school had a deeper sense of their own worth than we did. We exchanged the soft round ball of kickball for peanut-oiled pigskin, moved operations off the diamond, and began playing Kill the Guy with the Football in dangerous proximity to the rusted monkey bars. I don't know where the girls went. Picture Woodstock, where our older brothers and sisters wallowed in mud and mired themselves in music. That was too boomer for us. We were punk before punk. We were Manchester United and bell-bottoms and penny loafers. How wonderful it was to witness the best kickball player of Broadway squashed face down in the mud by 6 or 7 of his classmates, some from Broadway and some from the other school, as they wrested the ball from him. "Kill the guy with the football," we shouted, and another player scrambled about 3.5 feet, only to be smushed into a bed of thistles by the worst kickball players in either school's history. One held the ball aloft. "Kill the guy with the—" and he was tackled and dragged a yard or more. I got the ball. I ran this way, that, and this again. "Get him," they shouted. Years of running along the roof of our house on weekends as my brothers and their friends chased me in and out of windows had made me nimble. I was the second worst kickball player in the entire school district, but with nothing but survival of the fittest as the law, I ran with the football twice as long as anybody else. Then I was tackled, and, bright boy that I could sometimes be, I loosened up. They got the ball from under me without pressing me into the dirt. The embarrassment I usually felt when I dropped the ball during sanctioned team sports was missing here. I had given the thing my best shot and had no problem grasping what was happening. The sea of people moved over another hapless being. "Kill the guy with the football," we shouted. "This is a stupid game," said the best kickball player. "I don't get it," said the third best player. The second best player, who had the ball, got crushed by 10 or 11 other kids. He stood up smiling after they ran off. His paisley shirt was plastered in mud and dandelions. For 4 more days, Kill the Guy with the Football informed our recess play. On the 4th day, a football had been snuck into the school, the football we'd been using having been confiscated by a concerned substitute teacher the day before. Monday came and was, as Monday was made to be, a gray retreat into order. 2 teachers stood at the front of the class before the bell for recess. "We will be having kickball today. The girls will play with the boys. There will be no other game." You might think I am going to say there was a collective awe of sadness. Instead, the best kickball player and the third best kickball player said yes. The second best and the rest of us made no noise. Noise was beneath us. We'd had our subversive episode, the last one of our lives, perhaps. We hadn't thought we'd have any.